Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Randy Prizzle's Lincoln Ting with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, shway, crispy, irie? Let's get on to the linking and the tinging, which is me going through profiles, dating profiles, to find a girl to call my own. Tired of being single, tired of being alone. It's time to try and find someone to give my all to and everything, like the Pitbull song with Neo. Give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight. 'Cause all we know, we might not get tomorrow. Let's do it tonight. Alright, we come to Meredith. Meredith's saying, the way to win me over is passion. Show me interest, curiosity, vulnerability, and energy. I have an adventurous spirit, and I'm looking for someone to explore the joys of life with. It's good, she has the passion. I'd like to eat some passion fruit, that is. Do you know what I mean? But I like the fact, obviously, she has that in abundance. She obviously likes to be interested, and she's very curious. I like someone who's curious as well. Curiosity, they always say, sometimes kills the cat. Hopefully, it doesn't kill her cat. You know what I mean? But let's move on. She's 36, she's 5'8", and she's a sample room manager. She's a bit tall, heads generally reach the chest area. I said pleasurable activity settings for her, but nothing in return for me. But let's move on. She says, typical Sunday, sleep in, cuddles, flea market strolls. That's a bit weird, but let's move on. Dancing, cooking a big meal, dancing, cheek to cheek, unwind with a film and some wine. Now listen, I don't know with the flea market strolls. I'm not down for that, to be honest, to go and look out some fleas now. I'm not down for you, down for you. Don't want to do anything you want to do when you're going to flea markets. So it's a no for me on that front. But sleeping in, I hear it sometimes. You just want a lazy day, the Bruno Mars stuff. So I hear it, you know what I mean? Going out, she wants to cook a big meal. That's nice. I like someone who can cook. Get down, throw it in the kitchen. Like the song, get down on it, bang, 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 get down on it. That's what we like to see. Her getting down on it, her showing her skills in the kitchen, and also what she can do to show her man she really appreciates and all of that. Do you know what I mean? But listen, obviously she likes to unwind with the film. That's good with some wine. So she likes to unwind with some wine. Kind of slightly rhyming, not really, but you get my drift. But anyways, I hear it. But let's move on to more what she's saying. I go crazy for phone calls, love letters, flea markets again, old films, art galleries, live music, creativity, individuality. Listen, I don't like being on the phone for too long to people. I do like a text now and again, because I think it's just a simplistic way to communicate with someone, tell them how you're feeling sometimes, with all that long talk, or the jibbity jabbity stuff, do you know what I mean? Jabber-jawing, you know what I mean? Just don't want none of that woo 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 stuff, the jabber-jaw stuff, leave it out, do you know what I mean? But obviously, if it comes down to the case where man wants to get to know you better, like the LL Cool J song, I'm gonna love you better. That went down the wrong hole, pause. But you know what I mean? It's one of them things where I would like to see someone give their all, give their energy, but I don't really deal with the whole flea market thing. Still a bit mad, still. She's moving mad here. Do you know what I mean? But she likes to do the art gallery stuff. I'm not really a fan of just going to see some tap on a wall, bruv. Like, that's just mad. People just go in there, take pictures of a tap on a wall, or some person just standing there, you know, with his arm against the fence or something. It's just stupid. That's not art. And I keep saying that to people. It's not art. Art is when I just see graphing. Graphing for me is art. You know what I mean? People doing the tag and all that, fine, fair enough. I like that. Do you know what I mean? Like the song, I like that, twerk that thing, whoa. Well, let's see what more Meredith is saying. That's it. She's not saying any more. Fortunately for Meredith, it's going to be a no from me. Doesn't have that je ne sais quoi. So let's move on to the next person. Come to Mawa. Mawa's saying, my simple pleasures, tequila and letterboxed. I have no idea what letterboxed is, so we're just going to move on from that one. Tequila. Listen, I don't mind tequila with a bit of lime. Salt goes well together sometimes. You're just feeling the vibes of having something salty down your throat. Pause. Do you know what I mean? Then that's obviously the vibe that gives, you know what I mean? So she's 26, she's 5'2", and she works in tech. She's not doing the techno dancing, she actually works in technology and stuff. But anyways, let's see what more she's saying. I'll fall for you if you take initiative. She always take the lead. Do you know what I mean? Like, take the first steps, the first dance and all that. Do you know what I mean? Not save the last dance, take the first dance. You know what I mean? Not like the film and that. Do you know what I mean? What more she's saying? Together, we could take a nap. Oh, we could take a nap indeed. We can really take a nap. Do you know what I mean? Under the covers. You know what I mean? Together, Tings. Do you know what I mean? You know where this is going to. Let's just move on. Unfortunately for Mawa, she just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi for me, so it's going to be a no from me. We come to Helen. Helen's saying, believe it or not, I spent years professionally researching coffee culture. That's a bit nerdy, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you there. Do you know what I mean? Years researching coffee. What about trying to research something else that's a bit more interesting? Maybe about the Guinness Book of Records. Maybe about the fact that something in life is not always meant what it's meant to be. The fact of the matter is she spent years researching coffee tells me that she's bored as shit. She doesn't have no real ideas in her head in terms of anything else. But let's see what more she's saying. She's 33, she's 5'1", she works as an anthropologist. She says, I want someone who is very offline and will feed me. I wouldn't say I'm very offline. You know what I mean? I am obviously on here a lot in terms of where I give you guys some content and that. Feeding her, listen, as I said, if the right price comes along, the right things, the man can pay for them. Man's not taking you to Novikov and all these expensive restaurants just to fork out money on you. You don't appreciate, man. There's no chance I'm doing that. No chance. Do. No chance in hell. You've got no chance. Do. Next thing she's saying, the fact about me that surprises people, I have 8 piercings. That's all right. As I said, I don't mind someone with a lot of piercings. I think that's pretty cool. I have piercings myself, about 3. You know what I mean, so far. So I'm down with it. You know what I mean? I'm cool. It's all gravy here. Let's move on to the next person. It's going to be a no from me, Talon. We'll come to Saf. Saf says, my self-care routine is shoplifting. That's a bit mad. That's a bit mad. That's definitely a bit mad. It got me confusing my words as well. It's definitely mad. She says, shoplifting myself flowers from Sainsbury's. Oh, she didn't finish. Shoplifting herself flowers from Sainsbury's. Okay. All right. I thought she just meant shoplifter. I thought that's already a red flag. That you're going to do the shoplifting stuff. Do you know what I mean? Don't want to be caught with you know what I mean, where you're just taking stuff off shelves and then just running out the shop. You mean, allow it. It's just moving mad. She's 31. She's 5'1". She's a designer. One more she's saying, my most irrational fear, men in little trainer socks. Well, I think sometimes if the sun's out, you need to get your feet out. You just got to do what you got to do, innit? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Some people find it a jarring thing. I don't know why. Personally, you can't wear long socks when it's summertime. You're just going to sweat your legs off. Do you know what I mean? Sweat all pouring down your legs and all of that. You know what I mean? Pause. There's probably a pause there somewhere. I think there is. But yeah, you can't have all of that happening. It's just moving a bit mad. You know what I mean? If just sweat's all just pouring down your legs and you're wearing some long socks up to your knees, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So you can't be doing that in the summertime. Because in the summertime, when the weather is bright, you should not be wearing long socks tonight. Because you're going to get warm. Because you're going to get warm. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get warm. So next thing she's saying, I won't shut up about Palestine. So big up to her on that one. 100%. I think, it's mad about what's going on in the world right now, currently. And that's why I always am going to say free Palestine. Rest in peace, obviously, to all the young ones out there that has been, absolutely taken from this earth by the cruelties of what's going on by Israel. They're moving mad out there. The powers that be of Israel are moving mad. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, free Palestine and that. But unfortunately for Saf, it's going to be a no for me. She just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi. No, this is just loading. Making me look bad. Alright, here we go. Lima. Lima's saying, ask me anything about having lived in London in the last 2 years, how much I hate AI, what song I'm currently obsessed with. Um, don't really want to ask her much about that. I guess I've already known. You know what I mean? So let's move on to the next one. This year, I really want to learn how to play the drums, hike more, and learn French. I'm not going to be rude here, but obviously she's a big thing in terms of chubby settings and that. The hike more stuff, okay. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. Do you know what I mean? It'd be useful. That's all I'm going to say there. Learn how to play the drums. That sounds cool. You know what I mean? I can feel it calling in the air tonight. I'll be so cool. You mean to learn how to do the drums? Yeah, I'll come and watch you play all the time. Trust me. Do you know what I mean? Like the J-Lo song. Play, come and need you play that song. Play it all night long. Woo, woo. And turn it up and turn me on. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she's 32. She's 5'9", and that's all it says there. Nothing else. She says, I go crazy for someone with a great sense of humor, smart and kind, no tinfoil hat wearers, or bigots, please. Yeah, it's moving mad if she didn't want someone obviously she doesn't want someone who wears tinfoil hats. Stay away from her, the people who wear tinfoil hats or bigots. Sure, none of you, man. She says, the way to win me over is ice cream, music, Rex, memes, and a love of The Simpsons. I think The Simpsons has passed its prime, to be honest. I think The Simpsons was cool back in the early 90s when they had those first lot of episodes coming through. You know what I mean? Early 2000, you could say, okay, cool. But after a while, The Simpsons hype started to die down. And it just became something where it was just like, no, it's not The Simpsons anymore. It's just taking The Sims. You know what I mean? That's what it is. They're just simping out here now. They're simping a lot. Had enough of the simping. You know what I mean? So, ice cream, that's nice. But for me, it's got to be a vegan one. Music, I hear it. I'm generally all around the world with music, apart from certain genres. Man, I don't like death metal, and I don't really like country. You know what I mean? I can deal with a few twanger songs, but I don't like the majority of country music. I find it boring. That's just my thing now, still. But those are the two for me, generally. I think there's another one in there, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But let's move on. Fortunately for Lima, it's going to be a no from me. We'll come to the last person, Ariana. Ariana says, let's make sure we're on the same page about laughing hard, talking deep, and vibing on the same wavelength. If you've done some inner work and you know how to communicate, we'll be good. Yeah, I mean, communication is key and all of that. So yeah, let's move on. She's 34, she's 5'3", she's a CEO. Okay, CEO like Mercedes Monet. Do you know what I mean? But what more she's saying? She says, I'm looking for someone meaningful with a man who values God, growth, honesty, and emotional safety. If you lead with clarity and care, I note that also must prioritize your physical and mental health. Okay, cool. I can deal with that. That doesn't sound like something that's over the top or just completely left. So that sounds cool. She says, dating me is like your favorite Sunday. Calm energy, soulful music, and easy joy. Low drama, high standard. I move with peace and expect the same. I like that. She seems like a really nice girl, Ariana. But then I said wolf in sheep's clothing. She did the pouncing thing. Make me feel like she's all good and that. And come out the bushes and that. Do the rowdy peeper stuff on man. So, you know what I mean? That's why it has me questioning still. But so far I like what I hear from her. She seems like a cool girl. She lives in Los Angeles though. Rav. Oh, she says now she's in this area. Well, that's moving mad still. You know what I mean? She says she's in London now. But I don't know if she's actually staying here. That could be questionable. Man's not moving here and back and that. I want someone who lives here still. But she seems like a cool girl. Let's get to chatting and see what she's saying. We can make a good connection. It's simple as, you know what I mean? I've got nothing more to say. So we can make a good. Sorry about the noise. People just don't know when to just, allow it. Do you know what I mean? I had to cut it off earlier because someone started to bang around. Do you know what I mean? They're jumping around at the house of pain and all that. You know what I mean? Not doing the song, just jumping around. Okay. Boom, done. Send that. Send. Alright, guys. Well, that's it. We've come to the end of this episode of Randy Prizzle's Lincoln Ting. Big yourselves up. First time watchers, season watchers. And you know what we usually do here when we finish. But before that, subscribe to the Ting. Tell the people all about your boy. How crazy, insane the membrane your boy is. But big yourselves up again. One time, two time, 2 time, 3 time. A lady. And I love you. Yeah, anyways, yeah. Peace, love, unity, and all of that. And you always usually do it when we finish. Link out, link out, oh, link out.